Slow down because you're talking so fast I can't understand you. I keep hearing all time, but that's all I'm getting.
You got to prove that you got power of attorney law over me. I'm going to have to sue the courthouse for 100-fold.
Mr. Goodman, I don't have to prove a damn thing to you, sir. If you're here on the
you got to prove that you got power of attorney law over me. My name is not those capital letters, so I'm an Israelite from the 12 tribes. So what I'm saying is I'm representing myself. That's all that needs to be said. I'm a human being. I'm a living man. I'm a living being. I'm not no cargo. I'm not none of that.
Unless you are a price on a can of beans, we don't need a barcode.
Right, everyone, today's a good one. Judge Oakley is back, and as usual, he's dealing with a sovereign citizen who needs to be put in his place. I really like Judge Oakley. He handles these cases better than anyone. Today, this guy is in court for assaulting his girlfriend. But of course, he's doing the usual sovereign citizen thing. When will they learn? I'm not sure. As you watch, let me know what you think his IQ is, because I have a feeling it's not very high. Anyway, let's dive into this intense...
Mr. Bowditch, are you ready on Goodman?
Well, Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Goodman. Mr. Goodman asked me to tell you that the prosecutor in this case has no power of attorney over him. He's an Israelite. There's no grounds under the bar code this matter should be dismissed. I believe he may want to represent himself. You may ask for some clarification if you talk to Mr. Goodman, but that's what he told me to tell you.
Thank you. Mr. Goodman, are you requesting that you represent yourself on this matter? You're muted, Mr. Goodman.
What I'm saying is nobody has power of attorney law over me through the barcode. I'm the beneficiary. My name is not those capital letters, so I'm an Israelite from the 12 tribes. So what I'm saying is I'm representing myself. That's all that needs to be said, because that's what the law is. I got common law jurisdiction. It's a non-violent crime. So I push for it to be dismissed under the barcode.
Well, it's not going to be dismissed today. So simple question. Are you representing yourself from this point forward? Yes or no?
Yes, I'm counseling myself.
All right. Mr. Bowditch, you're out. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I said, are you planning on filing a motion, or would you like to set this case for trial?
I'm planning on filing a motion to dismissal because there's no grounds or no standing over my case, because nobody has power of attorney law to hear me, to even take this process even further. You got to prove that first. You got to prove that you got power of attorney law over me to hear this matter. Okay, I'm an Israelite.
But you don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about. You don't have power of attorney law. The prosecutor don't have power of attorney law. You don't have power of attorney law. It's under the barcode.
Mr. Goodman, please do not interrupt me. I'm trying to be polite.
Okay, it's under the barcode, though. This is what you signed up to do. You're a public servant. So
right, unless you are a price on a can of beans, we don't need a barcode.
Yes, I am. I'm a human being. I'm not a deity. I'm a human being. I'm a living man. I'm a living being. I'm not no cargo. I'm not none of that. It's under the barcode. This is the real law.
Come here.
You have no standing or no ground.
Mr. Goodman, I'm going to give you a date for your motion.
I'm only here to claim cohesion.
Pardon me?
I want all my rights intact to me at all times. Do you agree?
So, this guy wants to keep all his so-called rights, including the made-up right to drive without a license. But that's not how it works. Driving is a privilege, not a right, and the government controls it. That's just a basic legal fact. But here's the twist. Now he's claiming to be an Israelite. Am I wrong? Or does that seem like an attempt to avoid being seen as a sovereign citizen? These sovereign citizens are already seen as a threat, and now he's got a new identity. It feels too convenient. Looks to me like he's just trying to escape the consequences of his actions. What do you all think? Let's keep watching.
I can't understand what you're saying. I think you're too close to your mic.
I want all my rights intact to me at all times. Do you agree?
I can't understand you, so no, I don't agree. I hear you're something
okay,
all the time.
I want all my rights intact to me at all times. I want all my rights intact to me all the time.
All right, I can't understand you.
Okay.
Are you still living on border? Are you still living on border? Mr. Goodman, are you still living on border?
Ashley, keep yourself muted, please. Your child keeps crying. Thank you.
No, I live somewhere else. I moved.
All right. Can you give me that address, please?
I stay at hotel rooms from time to time because I don't have no house right now. So I'm in staying in hotel rooms.
Geographically, where are you at today?
Detroit, Michigan.
All right. So my next pretrial date is when, Heather?
It is March 8th.
All right. So Mr. Goodman, I'm going to give you a date on March 8th to file a motion. You file a motion, we'll hear it on March 8th. That's going to be in person.
Motion for dismissal?
Whatever you want to file a motion. You said you wanted to file a motion. So I'm giving you a hearing date for your motion.
What time?
We'll schedule that at 10 a.m. and this is going to be live. No Zoom.
All right.
I'm having trouble
All right. I
with
want
the audio.
all my rights and text me all the time.
Pardon
I'm
me?
only here to threaten confusion. I just want all my rights and text me all the times. And everybody just got to prove that they got power of attorney
Hold on a
left.
minute. You got to slow down because you're talking so fast I can't understand you. I keep hearing all time, but that's all I'm getting.
Okay, what I'm saying is for the dismissal, I'm about to put it in today. You got to prove that you got power of attorney law over me. I'm going to have to sue the courthouse for 100-fold.
Mr. Goodman, I don't have to prove a damn thing to you, sir. If you're here on the
You got to prove
listen to your motion.
you got to
If you're
prove
not
that you
here on
got
the
power of
eighth,
attorney law over me. You don't have power. I don't care what you're talking about. You
attorney over you, Mr. Goodman. Listen
yes, you do. You need power of attorney law to talk to me. You ain't got no ground. You ain't no standing. You ain't got no ground to understand. I got the affidavit of truth right here. I got authenticate birth certificate. I got a letter of intent over here right now. I broke all my contracts with the government. I'm not those capital letters. I'm with the 12 tribes of Israel. My name is Israel. I'm an Israelite. I'm with the 12 tribes of Israel. You don't got no power of attorney law over me. I'm pushing for dismissal. I'm suing your courthouse for 100.
Again, another person claiming they'll sue the court for $100,000, as if that's ever worked. The truth is, you can't sue the court for doing its job. Judges have judicial immunity, meaning they can't be sued for their decisions. So, when someone tries to say they'll sue, it's a waste of time. What's even more ridiculous is how they break the law and then act confused when they get caught. It really feels like things are getting more ridiculous every year. But stick around. His next court hearing is coming up, and guess what? He's sitting in jail because he missed his own court date.
Try it again, counsel. I'm sorry.
Good morning, Your Honor. Patricia Manning for the people, P84088.
All right. And Mr. Goodman, can you hear us okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Ms. Murphy, what are we doing on these files?
Judge, it's my understanding that Mr. Goodman has an appointment at the Forensic Center on January 31st. As Your Honor knows, he has pending cases in Frank Murphy. He went before Judge Michael Callahan yesterday. He was, his bond was reinstated with a tether. I believe Your Honor has put a 250, 10% bond on Mr. Goodman. You know, Your Honor, that I'm going to ask you to reduce that bond to something affordable.
All right. So I've got two files. One file's got that 250, 10% with a GPS tether. That would be the February 5, 2022 incident date. And then the other file, which is the misdemeanor file from May 10, 2019, he's just on a personal on that one with a GPS tether.
Right. And you know, Your Honor, that I don't represent him on the DV.
Right, right. But he finally does have a date for a forensic exam?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right. So you just want to adjourn the PCC?
Yes, Judge. And ask for a reduction in bond.
Thank you. And Mr. Goodman, have you talked to an attorney on the domestic violence case, or are you representing yourself on that one?
I have nobody to represent me. I think it was Langford or something was supposed to be my attorney. I'm not sure how it went south.
Okay. All right, counsel, go ahead and make your bond argument. But before you do, just so we're all on the same page, my notes say it's $25,000, 10%, no contact with complaining victim, and GPS tether. Is that your understanding?
So, Judge, I thought it was 250,000, 10%, 25,000.
I don't know what I just said, but my file says 250. Well, yeah, 250,000, 10%. Correct.
So, Judge, I mean, obviously that's unaffordable. Mr. Goodman is not a man of means.
You can tell just by looking at this guy that he probably has only $2 and a Tootsie Roll in his piggy bank. It's no surprise that even public defenders don't want to take his case. While they must represent people who can't afford a lawyer, they can refuse if there's a conflict of interest or if the client is too difficult to work with. If even court-appointed lawyers are turning him down, it's clear this guy is hard to handle. And this isn't just a small issue. He's facing domestic violence charges for assaulting his partner. That's a real crime with serious consequences, and no amount of fake legal talk will help him. This shows what kind of person he really is. Let's dive in.
And his significant other just acquired new housing, Your Honor. They have a baby. Mr. Goodman needs to be there to assist with childcare responsibilities because both of them were working before Mr. Goodman was taken into custody. I know we've had some issues, Your Honor, with appearing in court. Mr. Goodman has had transportation issues with respect to getting to the forensic center, and that was his issue, Judge. The tether violation was simply a malfunction of equipment. So I would ask Your Honor to, and since they do not have means, Your Honor, I would ask Your Honor to reduce I'm asking Your Honor for a personal with the tether.
Response.
Um,
And counsel, you don't have to jump up to talk to me. I know it's instinctive, but it's okay if you don't.
Thank you, Your Honor. It is instinctive. Your Honor, in this case, he is before us for a misdemeanor DD. I understand he does have some pending felonies. I understand he's on a GPS tether for the felonies. I believe at this time, the most important thing is that he remain on, or that if he is released, he remains on a GPS tether. So in this case, I would not object to a personal bond.
All right. Ms. Murphy, unfortunately, this is one of those situations where I don't care what the parties think because I've got a long history. This building's got a long history with Mr. Goodman not showing up in court. So I set the bond for that reason. I'm keeping the bond as it is for that.
Really like Judge Oakley. You can tell he's a genuinely good person who doesn't tolerate nonsense. Even when both sides agreed to let this guy go free, Judge Oakley wasn't having it. He knew what needed to be done and gave the guy a reality check, which is exactly what a good judge should do. Let me know what you think about that case in the comments. I thought it was awesome, and honestly, it's always great watching Judge Oakley. Now, we're moving on to another hearing with Judge Boyd. Things get heated, and this young defendant thinks it's a good idea to talk back to the judge, acting all cool and confident. Spoiler, it doesn't end well for him. Let's see what happens next.
Why were you late for court?
I really don't got any excuse. Besides, I got insomnia.
I'm sorry, what?
I really don't got any excuse, but I got insomnia.
He overslept, Judge. That's what he's saying.
All right. So here's the thing. You need to be on time for court. Otherwise, you know what's going to end up happening? Whether you're 20 or 18, guess what? We'll make sure that you come on time. If you're not on time, we'll know where you are. You know how we'll know that?
Got my address.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, y'all got my address.
No, because you'll be in Orange and we'll bring you over from the jail. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
How far did you go in school?
In school?
Yes.
To 10th grade.
All right. Why did you only go to the 10th grade?
I dropped out
Why?
because there was like a lot of drama.
All right. So let me explain to you about drama. Drama is you coming before the court and not addressing the court properly. Drama is using slang and not proper English coming before the court. So my advice is you probably want to get your GED so that you can get a job, because now it is hard to get good employment without at least a high school diploma. And even if you have a high school diploma, it's still hard. Guess what? People who go to college, and I'm not talking to people who go to college and they're getting a degree in philosophy, finding a job. I mean, people who are going to college, getting a degree in engineering, biology, they're all having a hard time finding employment. So you come along and you don't even have a 10th grade education and you're trying to get employment, it does not look good. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you employed?
I was employed.
So that's a no, right? You're not working?
No, ma'am.
So that means that your mom or somebody is supporting you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you come back here on the 27th, you're going to come on time and you're going to address the court properly. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Maybe excuse?
Yes. Once you sign the reset form.
It's crazy to me that someone would be bold enough to talk to a judge like they're talking to their friends. Seriously, you can't just show up to court and act like you're hanging out at a bar. But the main thing I really want to talk about is that sovereign citizen case. This guy was screaming "Koi" on Zoom the first time, which honestly is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. You just can't act like that in court, especially online. Honestly, I think sovereign citizens should be forced to appear in person. It's way harder for them to put on their act when they're face to face instead of hiding behind a screen. And another thing, it really feels like judges are getting way too soft these days. I get it. Fairness is important, but there's a difference between being fair and being too lenient. Some cases need a real wake-up call, not endless chances for people to make fools of themselves in court. Judges need to start shutting this nonsense down instead of letting it drag on. All right, enough of my rant. I'd love to hear what you guys think about all this. Was Judge Oakley fair in that first hearing? Personally, I think he was more than fair. Let me know in the comments. And if you like content like this, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe. I post every day. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate all of you. Take care.